Are we on? Uncle Henry here.
Through the years, I've always had the ability to put people to sleep when they listen.
Uncle Henry Internet Show, thank you for looking in tonight.
I think I was born unusually and uncomfortably personal. We're sending nasty jokes to each other over.
My mother's not a beast, damn you!
We worship the youth of our country. What about the elderly?
All right, look, calm down, because this is Facebook. This is different from real TV. Hang up on this guy, you sick freak! Turn the volume down on this. I'm not ready for that kind of garbage. The graphics working. Would you stop it? You scumbag prick! Dadgummit, I wish I could just...
All right, thank you. All right, stop it. Stop it. Cut it out. Stop it, please. Please. All right, welcome to the Uncle Henry Internet Show. Tonight we have... All right, we just told people to mute their phone, and they did not understand. But here we are on the Uncle Henry Internet Show. Last week's show, magnificent, with very high testosterone level. Tonight, another night of high testosterone level on the Uncle Henry Internet Show. We have as our special guest, football expert Chris Morgan. He's an expert. Not just a football expert, also a fried chicken finger expert. Yes, double barrel talk on tonight's program. Also, musical guest, we have Scott Bottrell. Some of the longest hair we've had on a male guest on tonight's show. The musical guest presented by Callahan's. Thank you to Callahan's. Also, tonight's Lagniappe Mystery Box. What's in the Lagniappe Mystery Box presented by Lagniappe? Thank you to Lagniappe for all their support here of this program. Speaking of support, we'd like to thank... Oh, wait, before we get to our support, you know, we've had all these tree lightings. In fact, I think last night they had the tree lighting over in Fairhope, Mobile, city of Mobile, the tree lighting Tonight on the Uncle Henry Internet Show at the Container Yard, we're going to have our own tree lighting. Now, we don't actually have a tree. We have the big Coke bottle statue. Now, we're waiting to, we don't have it on camera yet. We're going to get that on camera here. There it is. Are we ready to light the tree? Yeah. Then let's go ahead and light the tree. Now, the only way we could make this more impressive if we had more donations.
I could not find a sponsor to light the tree for us. So
oh, okay.
And we made the start.
All right, well, look, this is where the support team comes in if you would like to support this program. This program is run by donations from viewers. Thank you to everyone that has helped us out with donations. When you make a donation, you become an associate executive producer, and we'd like to thank all of our producers, Robert Wager, Scotty White, Wendy Jen, Mo Phobius, Frieda Schnitzler, Tim Anderson, Shelby Mitchell, Phil DeBalzac, Ron Reams, Rick Henry, Seymour Bott Ox, Prince Albert Inacan, Philip Skiba, Dalton Lister, Suzanne Zimmer, Percy Master P. Manders, Jay Akins, Matt Bighead Green. Thank you so much for your donations. Associate executive producers. Now, all these people are related to Johnny Gwynn. He told them for his 50th birthday he wanted donations to this show. So these are all the family members that donated, making it possible for us to go forward into the month of December. Executive producers are people who have given even more money. And those people include Rob Holbert, the second-rate Ben Affleck, LD the Mad Trucker, Bridget Jerkins of Royal Street Barbers, Doug Faust, Leah Brown, Dorothy Doc Clayton, Cheryl Gwynn, Bama Big Man, Mrs. Bama Big Man, Wendy Lynn Norris, G.I. Jane, Aunt Karen Simmons. Thank you so much, Karen Simmons. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can donate by going to PayPal. Look on PayPal for Deep Fried Live, or go to Venmo.com and look for Deep Fried Live. We need to, and here is something you can use, your smartphone can scan this. I don't understand the technology and don't care to learn, but the donations will make it to the program. Now, before we bring out our guest, we need to mention the Lagniappe Mystery Box. We ask people to guess what's in the mystery box. We reveal the answer at the end of the program. Last week's winners, Mrs. Bama Big Man and Scott Wadsworth. Now, the winners win a year digital subscription to Lagniappe.
I'll send you the information on Monday.
Now, the rules, the object is something that is mentioned on the show. How to play, Johnny Gwynn wants to send you some type of, is that still going on? Your
I know, I'm the only one that knows what's in the mystery box, and I will picture in my brain, and I'm sending it out through cosmic waves. So once you get in on the cosmic wave, you can remote view what's in there.
All right, you email your prediction to deepfriedstudios@gmail.com, deepfriedstudios@gmail.com. We're going to look for an exact answer or a person closest to, and if we get multiple guesses of the same thing, Johnny will draw a name out of all the people that guessed. That's the Lagniappe Mystery Box. Thank you, Lagniappe. And I'd like to thank the Container Boys for being more judicious in the use of the sound effect. Last week was a little too much. Now, before we bring out Chris Morgan, the football expert, one of the things that impresses me about Chris Morgan and impresses Johnny Gwynn about Chris Morgan is one of the things he did once upon a time he worked at the Senior Bowl, one of the things he did is he helped evaluate talent. And we're going to get into that later, but it's a Senior Bowl connection, and I was thinking of ways we could, I know the Senior Bowl is a Mobile tradition, but there's always room for improvement. And I've got some ideas on ways to improve the Senior Bowl. Now, why is that even funny? Why is it funny? There are some things I think could be done to improve the Senior Bowl for both Mobile and all the fans of the Senior Bowl. For example, all players must perform a non-sports talent, just like the Junior Miss program. Like you could have a quarterback, he's got a great arm and he can play trumpet. Why not? One day of practices must take place on the big lawn at Bellingrath Gardens. Raw oyster eating contest, just like the Junior Miss program.
Every year, they do it.
Players visit Crichton to look for the leprechaun. Hold the Meet the Players event at the Mobile Flea Market. This is more accessible to the fans. Asking somebody to go downtown nowadays for anything, that's too much. Add a fifth quarter to the game featuring real seniors. Players over the age of 65.
I think the stretcher would come out a lot on that.
Well, I would enjoy seeing the older players out on the field again. Let people tailgate in the stadium, play the game in the parking lot. And the reason I suggest that is I think back on all the fun I've had at the Senior Bowl, it's never been in the stadium. It's always been outside of the actual stadium. Every ticket comes with a Pabst Blue Ribbon. Wet Willie halftime extravaganza. Or Reagan Girls belly dancing squad extravaganza. Senior Dog Bowl. You remember the Puppy Bowl that they have for the Super Bowl? Senior Dog Bowl, simulcast during the Senior Bowl on the Deep Fried Studios YouTube channel. Seniors 65 plus get a free VIP ticket and IHOP early bird dinner coupon for after the game. I would be contracted to give real senior sideline analysis of the game and lewdness reports of the cheerleaders' attire and gyrations. Move the game out of the Dumpy Lad Stadium to well, never mind on that. I think we've already gone forward with that suggestion. Those are just a few ideas on ways to improve the Senior Bowl. Now, let's get rid of the silliness and bring on a real expert, somebody that can just carry this show without even my input. Please welcome to the Uncle Henry Internet Show, Chris Morgan. Here he is. Chris Morgan, thank you. Thank you for agreeing to do the Uncle Henry Internet Show.
I'm glad to be here. I've missed you. I mean, for 3 or 4 years, we've gotten together every Friday morning and talked college football. It got you away from whatever else you were talking about.
All that political
for those 3
garbage.
hours. That's
yes.
right, exactly. So I'll let you say that. But so I'm glad to be back with you talking a little college football tonight.
We are going to go very in-depth on college football because unlike our other guests that we've had on the show, we've looked into Chris Morgan's life, and there's not a lot there.
True.
So we're going to be talking about college football. But Chris Morgan, of course, he worked for the Senior Bowl. We know that. That's something that has enchanted us about Chris Morgan, was his tie to evaluating college football talent and working the Senior Bowl. He also worked with the Bay Bears. We're not going to talk about that at all. And he's now with Fusaklis. We will talk about that because we love that. Now, Chris Morgan, we found this graphic of the top 25 college football teams allegedly. Now, talk about your thoughts on this season, because a lot of people are saying that this season is still quite impactful in college football because everybody's dealing with the same problem of the pandemic. There should not be an asterisk by this season. Now, do you agree with that?
I don't, and even I had this conversation before the show tonight. You looked at me like I was crazy. I said, most people are going to view this season with a big asterisk. I mean, just take a look at some SEC teams.
Can I interrupt you for just...
Go ahead.
You, see, I thought I hid that.
No, you didn't.
I looked at you like you were crazy.
Just the look of disgust on your face. Well, and of course...
Alabama's number one.
That's what I was about to say. Right here is the reason that you aren't going to put an asterisk next to it.
No, it counts, Chris. Yeah. Well, it counts.
But so just take Alabama, take Auburn, take LSU. They haven't. None of those 3 teams have played a game in 3 weeks. What normal college football season does that happen?
It does not happen.
There's some teams like take Utah in the Pac-12. They haven't played a game yet. They haven't played a game. Every game they've had, they're supposed to have 3 games. They've all been postponed or canceled. That's crazy. Well, they've been canceled because the Pac-12 started later than everyone else, so there's no room to make those games up. So this season's not normal. It's not. I give it a 50-50 shot at actually being completed right now.
What?
I mean, go week to week.
It's important.
Okay, how many SEC games were supposed to be played last week? I think 7. How many were played? 3. That's not normal.
We'll just lengthen the season.
Look at the.
We'll just go into the summer. Come on now.
Hey, that going into the spring and was discussed. That was discussed before this whole season started. The Big Ten was they were going to start in the spring, in February, and they had so much pressure. So look, let's take.
Wait a minute.
Let's take a look at
that.
Oh, we're not going to look at that. So let's take a look at this.
You covered the time.
Hey, listen. Under a normal
season. Are you triggered
season,
yet?
He's getting there. I see his hat. This is so. Under normal circumstances, does this team, Coastal Carolina, are they a top 25 team in any other season? No, they're not. Liberty, are they top 25 in any other season? No, they're not.
But
Louisiana Lafayette?
But look up there.
Well, come on.
But I'm not looking down here.
Listen.
If you asked me who was in the top 25, I'd say Alabama's number 1.
That's it. Of course you would. But here's the thing. That's right. He's Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Clemson. I mean, there's your normal, always going to be in the top 10 type teams for the most part. Cincinnati, number 6. They're a good team. But under normal circumstances, they're not number 6. They're about right here.
But they've got a good logo.
Right here. They're a good team.
All right, look, time out on this, the ridiculous feeling that it doesn't
Again,
count. It counts.
Listen.
If they play the games, they count.
If this team weren't here and they were here or even out, you'd be saying the same thing that I'm saying right now. Absolutely.
I would not have invited you to be here. We would have been talking about Thanksgiving or something like that. Before we go any further with your strange claim that it doesn't count, I know from interviewing you through the years that you get some enjoyment from college football.
Absolutely.
You've told me in the past that you will spend all day on a treadmill watching the games, just walking and watching the games. What about this season? How has this affected your own personal consumption?
I'm still watching the games. I just wish there were more quality games on. Again, there were 3 SEC games on last week. That's it. I love watching Southeastern Conference football. I watched Notre Dame Clemson was the game of the year so far. Outstanding game. Went into overtime. Notre Dame pulled it out. Most people didn't think they could do it, and they did. They're going to play again probably at the end of the season in the ACC Championship if they make it that far, if we get to the end of the season. And that's a big if, I think. Alabama, Florida, I think those two are going to be in the Southeastern Conference Championship game. If we get that far.
We'll get there. We're skipping
Oh, we're
ahead.
getting there. Oh, okay.
We'll get there. Look, do you see any value at all to it? Because I see it as a way of evaluating how people deal. How adaptable are you? How are you under pressures that are not just football pressures, but other pressures? I think that it shows us how good these coaches, staffs, players, institutions, it's a stress test for all of it, and thus has tremendous value.
It's a good point. That's a good point. I agree with you. It is. Some teams are doing it better than others. I agree. But the fact that any of them have to do it, that makes this season unique, interesting. I mean,
Johnny Gwynn, interrupt him.
Okay.
Chris Morgan's an elitist.
Uh-oh.
He doesn't like these teams. Look, everybody needs to get their day in the sun.
No, what I'm
Liberty
saying is,
Coastal. Come on.
I watched Coastal Carolina wax a Big 12 team at the beginning of the season. Kansas, somewhat of a Big 12 team. It's Kansas. I don't think they've won a game yet. But no offense to Coastal Carolina. But again, under normal season, they would maybe be down here somewhere. They're undefeated. I think
almost
they're 7-8.
had nothing, and that would have been worse.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
No, trust me. No.
No offense to Coastal Carolina,
hated,
but you singled them out.
They could be down here, Tulsa. I mean, come on. What year are they in?
So how do we?
Maybe I am an elite.
So you're saying, should we just stop playing the games?
No. We should keep playing until they tell the teams to stop playing, which 15 games were canceled last week. I think we're up to 16 this week. 30 games have been canceled in 2 weeks. That's more than any other point since this season started.
I'm with Chris that we don't get to the end of the season.
It's going to get worse.
Now, Johnny Gwynn, you're not here to team up against me.
But how can you not
agree
say
with
that?
him, though. I agree with him.
How can you not say, again, 30-plus games have been canceled in the last
Well, you wait
2
till people
weeks.
you wait until people get better, and you can just put it off.
He really wants to ask
Big Man wants to say something.
Are you kidding me? The audience now is getting involved.
One question. Why is Ohio State ranked number 3? What they
Again,
played 3 games?
There we go. He is validating my argument.
Stop validating his argument.
He's validating.
Stop validating. This is a dead gum mutiny.
Listen.
You know,
They're a very good football team. Ohio State they are talented across the board, but they've played 3 games. Now, they do play a top 10 team tomorrow in Indiana, and we'll see how good they are. They'll probably beat them by 3 touchdowns, and they'll fall down here somewhere. Ohio State is a good football team, but they've played 3 games. They played 3 games.
Okay, all right. This is the highest number. We've never had a guest gesture as much as well.
That's fine.
We've never had the audience mutiny. We've never had Johnny Gwynn team up. This has been very unusual having you on the program.
It's a weird season.
It is. It's a weird season.
Then how should we? You're saying that it has a big asterisk by it. How do we view it then? How should we perceive it? Because I'm perceiving it.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm perceiving it as excellent.
Well, because
your
team is right there.
That's right.
And if they finish the season as national champions,
yes,
all Alabama fans, alums, etc., they will. Again, nobody's going to take it away from them regardless.
No, they won't.
But there will be people. Not that it matters to Alabama fans, or if Notre Dame wins, or if Ohio State or Clemson wins it again. It's not going to matter to them, which is fine. Look, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying this season. I'm glad they're playing football. But it's not normal.
Yeah,
it's
Who was applauding? Is the little girl applauding?
There you go.
Is the little girl applauding?
Yes, she is, because she likes college football.
Alabama fans don't care about no asterisks. In the early 70s,
That's right.
we took a golf world national championship and added it to our 2,000 million national
This
championships.
adds to the
I'm okay.
That's
adds
right.
to the legend. Even a scourge that cancels everything, we still won.
Exactly.
But here's another thing about the college football this season. It's like there's no people. This season doesn't mean anything to players with regard to the fact that, okay, if you're a second-year player, if you're a sophomore, you're going to be a sophomore next year. You get a whole extra year to play. That just shows you that this season's not normal. Nobody is losing 1 year of eligibility this season. So if Mac Jones wants to come back and play next year, he can come back and play next year.
Good.
What is he? Is he a senior or is he a junior? Okay, so he can play next year as a junior, and if he wants, he can come back and play another year.
That's
Now, he
outstanding.
won't, because if his stock goes high enough, he'd be crazy not to leave and enter the draft early and be drafted high, and that'd be the end of it. But this is not a normal season. No eligibility is lost by playing this year.
Johnny Gwynn is bringing you Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yes, Diet Dr. Pepper. He asked me what I liked, and bananas and Diet Dr. Pepper. He asked me what I wanted on set, and that's it.
All right. Chris Morgan is getting dry mouth because of all the denigrating of Alabama
I'm
football.
fired up.
All right, now moving past the graphic, let's preview the games that we're going to be watching this weekend. Alabama, what is it? What are they, a 30-point
30-point favorite, that's right.
Are you going to enjoy that?
It's hard to enjoy most Alabama games unless you're an Alabama fan. The reason I say that, they're over. No. Listen. Alabama fans will appreciate what I'm about to say, though. Most of their games are over by halftime. They are.
First quarter.
Who wants to watch when it's 35-0 in the third quarter?
I enjoy it because you see the future as the third string plays. It's looking into the future. I enjoy it.
Yeah, they still running the first stringers out in the third quarter.
Johnny Gwynn, what?
Chris Morgan, Cecil Hurt from the Tuscaloosa News calls every Alabama game joyless murder ball.
Yeah, because he has to cover them every week. And he's covered them every week
now,
for
we
love
years.
it. Everybody else hates
All
it.
right,
Alabama fans love it.
Again, Johnny, you're underlining his points when they're annoying
I'll say
points.
this, though. I'll say this. As you know, as we've discussed, I'm an LSU alum. Last season was, and I'm not, people well above me that know much more about college football than I do have said this. LSU had the single greatest season in the history of college football.
That's your
last year.
opinion.
They ran most teams they played off of the field, with the exception of Auburn. They only beat Auburn by 3 points. They beat Alabama by, I think, 5 or 6, but
Why
they
do you have to
dominated
bring
most
this
of that
up?
game. But what I'm saying is, listen, if LSU could go out every season and run teams off the field by halftime every season, I'd be watching that game till there were double zeros in the fourth quarter.
Good.
I would. I'll admit that. But as a non-Alabama alum, again, I appreciate, look, there probably isn't a bigger Nick Saban fan on this planet than me.
Yes, there is.
I promise you.
Come on. There's me.
Listen.
There's Bama Big Man. There's Mrs.
No,
Bama Big Man.
I'd be willing to bet they're
Johnny,
not.
There's Dan the Sound Man. There's Johnny.
No,
there's a bunch of us.
I'd be willing to bet there's no bigger fan of Nick Saban than
You'd
me.
lose the bet.
I'm telling you. Reason being is, look, the guy's, he's a perfectionist. He's won. When he was at LSU for 5 seasons, they won a national championship. He put them back on the map. When I went to school there in the early 90s, it was the darkest period in the history of Louisiana State University football. The head coach was somebody that most people in here probably hadn't heard of, Curly Hallman.
We remember that.
Terrible. The best season they had when I was there was 5 wins. That's it. So when Saban got there in 2000, they won the SEC championship in 2001. They won the national championship in 2003, and then he leaves to go to the NFL, which everyone felt that he was going to do. He went to the NFL, and people said, well, he wasn't successful. Well, He was, but college football is just different. And he knew that he could go back and just dominate the young guys and coach them and teach them, where you can't do that in the NFL. When you got guys on the team making more money than you are, that's hard.
Yep.
Okay.
So you get back to Alabama, and you get, or college football in general. Now, if we could go back in time, he doesn't go to the NFL. He's still at LSU in 2020. I bet LSU would have at least 10 national
I
championships.
don't want to live in that universe.
All right, now why are we making this? This is speculatory knowledge.
They would have won half of the. They would have won at least, probably at least. I'll say 8.
I agree.
I mean, how many has he won in Alabama?
All right, look.
5,
Why are we?
6?
What is this? What are we leading up to? That I shouldn't watch? I should not enjoy this game? What are we leading up to?
Okay, so let's get back to this game.
Yes, please.
30-point favorites. Fun fact: Mac Jones, the quarterback at Alabama, was a commit to the University of Kentucky. That's where he committed to play football. He was a 3-star quarterback, which in Alabama, people is 3 stars. We don't take 3 stars.
Exactly.
So they saw him at a camp. They said, man, this kid's pretty good. We're going to offer him. And so if I have an offer to Kentucky or if I have an offer to Alabama, where do you think I'm going to go? Basketball, I'm going to go to Kentucky. Football, I'm going to Alabama all day. So he goes, not thinking he's going to get to play much. And, of course, we know what happened last year. Tua gets hurt against Mississippi State, lost for the season. Mac Jones comes in with the greatest collection of receivers that I think you'll ever find. I mean, you could go out and probably complete at least 50% of your passes
Now,
to that
what's
group
happening?
of receivers at those guys.
Are you now using this opportunity to downgrade Mac Jones?
No.
What is this about, Chris Morgan?
Here's the thing about Alabama. With the receivers and the talent they have around him, they always have an elite running back. I mean, the guy this year, it fits right in. They always have elite receivers. And Nick Saban, you have to give him credit. Nick Saban was a defensive coach. He still is a defensive coach. But he even admitted this week, you cannot compete anymore. You can't win championships with elite defenses. You can't. You see it. I mean, the offenses, the top 5 teams in college football all average over 47 points a game. 10 years ago, that wasn't happening. You know, when Alabama won the national championship in '92, with the greatest defense probably of all time, they held their opponents to under 200 yards of total offense. That will never, ever happen again. Those days are gone. Now the teams are getting 500 yards a game, and if your defense can hold a team to 400 or 350, they're doing a good job. I mean, you look at Florida, for example. Florida, Arkansas scored 35 points and had 500 yards of offense against Florida last week. Florida won by 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. That just shows it's offense now. That's all it is.
All right.
And Alabama and Nick Saban's got to have a lot of credit for adjusting.
And Lane Kiffin was the one that brought that to him.
Lane Kiffin.
All right. Look, we've got other things to get to, and I'm suspicious when you're talking about Alabama. I'm keep waiting to have you.
So you want to pick? They win by they cover. They win
very
by 30
good.
plus.
Should anybody care about this game?
Hey,
Our
all right. So
our Auburn fans aren't even here tonight. So
I'm gonna listen. So let's talk about Auburn for a second.
Well, just the color schemes alone would hurt your eyes.
Listen. Let's talk about Auburn for a second. So, and I think I told Johnny this in the email I sent him. I'm going to tell you what a great recruiter I am. Okay, I went to LSU, graduated from LSU. My daughters grew up around LSU, going to football games, watching them with me at home, etc. They go to Auburn. So, it shows you what kind of a recruiter I would have been in college. So I have a little bit of an allegiance to Auburn, much to the dismay of the people in this room. I think they're all Alabama.
It is dismaying.
It
is dismaying, yes.
But yeah, so I love that they're at Auburn. I mean, Auburn's a great place. Auburn, the town, the campus, everything. I'm so glad they're there, and they're doing really well there. So I have a little bit of an allegiance to them. Outside of LSU, that's the only other team I would have an allegiance to. And, of course, they wiped LSU off the field back on Halloween, which is the last time that either of those teams played.
Wow.
And I think they're finding a little rhythm. They're favored by, I think, 10.5 against Tennessee.
Okay.
Tennessee is on a down slope right now.
Good.
They've lost I think they won their first 2. They've lost every game since.
Good.
Jeremy Pruitt is going to be the next SEC East coach to lose his job, possibly before the end of the season. Will Muschamp happened last week. Jeremy Pruitt's going to be right there with him.
Good, he come back to Alabama.
You know, and who Tennessee gets, I don't know.
All right. The next game we're going to talk about is this.
Okay, this is interesting because
gonna be a good
they just announced this morning that this game was actually even going to be played. Sam Pittman, the head coach at Arkansas, who I really like, said yesterday in a press conference, LSU didn't even know about this, said, we're really thin. I don't know if we're even going to play the game. And they tell Ed Orgeron in a press conference, he's like, huh? He goes, I didn't know anything about that. So they had to run some tests yesterday, and they got the results back this morning. And so Arkansas said, we can play, but we're really thin. I think they have you have to have 53 scholarship players to be able to play. I think they're hitting the minimum. So the question is, LSU, as crazy as it is a favorite in this game. Now, that number has gone down from like 2.5 to like 1 now. But Arkansas is actually, they're 3-4, but they've played some, Georgia, who's okay. I mean, Florida, again, I said earlier, wiped the field with Arkansas, even though Arkansas scored 35 points. But who's not playing for Arkansas tomorrow? That's the question. The question that there's no answer. Is Felipe Franks out? Is that star running back, the good receiver, some of the defensive guys? Who knows? I think we have.
Johnny, what are you doing?
Look,
we have another
someone in
question.
the audience has a question for the professor.
What is going on tonight?
Has this ever happened?
Question.
No, it hasn't.
I got one question, Mr. LSU. I got one question. Last week, LSU couldn't play Bama because of COVID. But all of a sudden, they're healthy now for Arkansas. Tell me what happened there. I don't know what happened.
No, they still have guys out.
Come on.
They still have guys out.
Right.
LSU, you know how many quarterbacks LSU had practice this week?
How many?
One.
Okay.
One. They're still thin as well. But
All right, so we should watch this game just because something crazy is going to
who
happen.
knows who's playing? That's
All
right.
right.
Who knows who's going to play?
All right, now, the SEC Championship, who will be in it to play Alabama? What's funny about that?
Alabama and probably Florida. I don't think it's probably. Florida's going to be in the SEC
All right,
Championship.
college football playoffs.
Oh, this is tough. All right, Alabama. All right, so the question is, does SEC get 2 teams in? Here's what I think. If Florida wins out and they play Alabama in the SEC Championship and lose, I still think they're in. Very similar situation to last year. LSU goes, they're already in. Doesn't matter what they do in the SEC Championship. I think if Alabama wins all of their games, same thing's going to happen to them. It's not going to matter. They can go into that game and play their third stringers and lose by 4 touchdowns, and they're still going to be in the college football playoff. If Florida does it, if they run the table and they lose to Alabama, then you're going to have 2 SEC teams in. Ohio State's going to get in. They're going to run through the Big Ten. I don't think they're going to lose a game. They're in. So now the 4th team, I think it's going to be down to the ACC championship game between Notre Dame and Clemson. Whoever wins that game's in. So I think you're going to have 2 SEC teams, Alabama and Florida, because I don't see either one of those teams losing until they get to the championship, which I think Alabama can beat Florida. And then Ohio State, they'll win the Big Ten, and then you'll have the winner of Notre Dame and Clemson in the ACC championship game they'll be in. So you're going to have, look, with all this craziness, with a Coastal Carolina at 15, and a Liberty in the top 20, and a Louisiana Lafayette in the top 25, and a Tulsa in the top 25, you're still going to end the season with the blue bloods of college football. Alabama, Florida, Clemson or Notre Dame, and Ohio State. That's how it will always be from here till the end of time. When the dust settles every season, you're going to see maybe 4 of 10 to 12 teams in that college football playoff. That's just how it's going to be. You're never going to see a Coastal Carolina. You're never going to see a Cincinnati, a Tulsa. You're never going to see those teams. We don't want to see them. That's just the way it's going to be.
All right, very good. Good. All right. Now, when you were at the Senior Bowl, I know you did a lot of things for the Senior Bowl, but what fascinates both me and Gwen are the fact that you evaluated college football talent to see who you should invite to the Senior Bowl. How does somebody how did you develop
Here's
that?
the thing. Most people would think it's very easy
I don't
to select
think it's easy.
100 to 110 of the top senior college football players. They wouldn't think it's that difficult. But that top 10% of players, you wanted the best of the best in that game. And it's gotten harder and harder to get those guys because of the pressure. One, guys leave early. Two, the guys that do stay for their senior year that are considered top 10 picks, they don't want to risk injury or risk being exposed. And what I mean by that, maybe showing that you're not really as good as your stats show that you are. So you had to recruit guys. You had to go, and when I say you had to recruit them, so you'd go to a game. You'd of course sit in the press box or stand on the field and watch the game. And then after the game, you waited outside the locker room to talk to that player. And while you were waiting, his parents were sitting over there. There's his parents and his brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles all wearing the jersey of. So you knew who the parents were. So you'd go and you'd talk to them, introduce yourself. You would recruit the parents and say, hey, I'm Chris with the Senior Bowl. We'd love for your son to come to Mobile for a week and show his talent in front of 6, 7, now it's up to 1,000 NFL scouts. So you had to really work to get that top 10%.
But how did you evaluate the players? How did you figure out who I should go?
It's easy. You know if a player's good or not. That's pretty simple. I mean, I knew that Carson Palmer, who was a #1 draft pick, was a pretty good player.
But you didn't look and say, oh, his calves are bigger.
Well, you look at measurables, what they call measurables. And so I'm big on production. I'm not as big on measurables. I mean, look, last night, prime example, Arizona Cardinals played the Seattle Seahawks. Both quarterbacks under 6 foot tall. 10 years ago, if you would have talked to somebody, they said, oh, that's crazy. When we brought Russell Wilson to the Senior Bowl out of Wisconsin, I don't even know how long ago, I was the one really stumping for the kid. I said, man, this kid he's good. But all you heard was he's undersized. Oh, my gosh, he's 5'10", he's barely 5'11". He's not going to make it in the NFL. Well, he comes down, and he has the week of weeks. I mean, the kid, probably one of the best Senior Bowl week performances you'll ever see. I mean, the kid just, and not only on field, but off the field. He's intelligent. I mean, he just got it. And so, and then Kyler Murray was the quarterback for Arizona Cardinals. He's barely 5'9". I mean, the kid is short. He was also a top 5 pick in the Major League Baseball draft. Was playing minor league ball in the Oakland A's system, got a big signing bonus to do that. Ended up giving most of it back so he could go play football. Won the Heisman Trophy, of course, at Oklahoma. People said, oh, there's no way. This kid, I mean, heck, he's tiny. But he is in contention for the NFL MVP.
So you value production over the measurables.
Yes, because the combine, for example, if most are familiar with the scouting combine,
yes,
they call it the Underwear Olympics.
Yes.
Because guys can go and they can look the part and they just, they just look like a good player. But then they get drafted and they go out and they show that they're not. Within 2 or 3 years, they're out of the league. I've always been big on production. That's why Russell Wilson was so important to me when I was at the Senior Bowl to have this kid in the game.
All right, is there something you needed to say? Yeah, we are. But I was letting him talk about production versus. He's a very talkative guest.
I'm sorry.
He's a professor. I love it.
It is. All right. So, but Chris Morgan likes production versus measurables. I believe my talent evaluation is different. I like a lot of different measurables. For example, these are my football player talent must have. This is the checklist of things I'm looking for if I'm evaluating a player.
Can't wait.
All right, first thing I'm going to look at is big thighs and good hips. Got to have the big thighs and the good hips. Indicates power.
Okay, hold on. I'll give you a nice terminology. Real quick.
That's also on Uncle Henry's Tinder.
It is not on. It is not.
So a term often used by NFL scouts is bubble butt for like offensive linemen. Bubble butt is one that's kind
and
of
that's
thrown
good.
around. Yes.
Because
there was another one that now the general manager of the Las Vegas Raiders, Mike Mayock, who was at the NFL Network when I was at the Senior Bowl, he called a bad offensive lineman was a heavy-legged knee bender. That was
see. All right. Well, look. See how I fit. See how I fit.
Let's finish.
All right. So this is my checklist of what I'm going to look for when I'm evaluating a player to see if they have the talent necessary to go on my all-star team. Of course, big thighs and good hips. If he takes his shirt off, nobody throws up. Doesn't call his parents by their first names. That indicates a discipline problem. Never speaks in third person. We don't want that on the team.
No more of those.
No more than 2 relatives in jail at any one given time, because that causes problems with the entourage.
Well, also not go to jail themselves.
Has a minimum of 2 football-related scars, meaty elbows, no hair visible with a helmet on.
Oh,
this
that's
is important.
50-50.
Not only are people scared to fight him, they don't even want to make eye contact with him. Strong hands bigger than their face.
And that's on his.
Now this is
Tinder
immeasurable.
profile too.
This is immeasurable. A catchy nickname. Now we love the catchy nicknames
Well,
like
of course you're going to put that first.
Broadway, Cadillac,
Oh, Cadillac, I'm surprised.
Refrigerator, White Shoes, Too Tall, Mean Joe. He hate me. He hate me. We love it. These are good. So if they've got a nickname, that's good. Now, some nicknames we don't like. We don't like the nicknames like Booger, The Freak, Muscle Hamster, Optimus Grimes, Pocket Rocket, The Molester. Don't like them.
Those are real. Those are all real.
Booger was actually a good player. I mean, come on.
Well,
was.
still,
He was a good
do you
player.
want that name hanging around the team, though?
Well, he was still called that when he was
Still.
the color commentary guy for Monday Night
I
Football,
remember,
which was
and
one
he's-
of the biggest disasters in the history of Monday Night Football.
Click the
recall.
booger.
All right,
They call him
now,
Booger.
we are going to open the phones in case there are calls for Chris Morgan or me. That is the phone number. We're going to be opening up the phone lines here in just a moment. So there is the number. Make your call. I don't know if we'll go to a lot of calls or not on tonight's show. We want to make sure we have time for our musical guest, Scott Bottrell. He is coming up. He's coming up in a moment. That's presented by Callahan's. Now, before we go to the phones, all of our guests that we've had, we've gone through lots of pictures of their lives and talked about their lives. And Chris Morgan told us that for some reason he does not like to be photographed.
I do not like to do photographs.
We
Unless
all-
we're with family, and that's about it.
There you are in a Fusakli's mask.
Yes, somebody gave me that, so there's my beautiful
Yes,
family.
beautiful
And then me.
family there.
And me.
Isn't that wonderful? The family. These are the young ladies you've sent to Auburn.
Yes, yes.
How about that? Chris Morgan, high T level. You've seen it here on display. Very aggressive. But still produces females. Just saying. Genetically,
Very
something very
fortunate they get
interesting.
their looks from their mother. Very fortunate. Look at that. See? I just wasn't a very good recruiter. I mean, we went to LSU games and just they went to Auburn. But I'm glad they're there. I'm happy.
Now, are we going to, before we go to the phones, are we going to have Chris Morgan guess here?
Before the phones.
All right, so before the phones, now we have the Lanyap mystery box. There's something hidden in the Lanyap mystery box presented by Lanyap. So, Johnny Gwynn, this works with you trying to transmit to Chris Morgan's brain.
I will count down from 3, 2, 1, and then you make your choice.
All right, and at home, you want to play along. There's the email address
Right.
to send your guess.
All right, everybody
Are
ready?
you ready?
3, I'm giving you a picture. 2, 1, make your pick.
It's a football.
Right, it's a football. Right down, it's a football. It's a football.
All right.
I mean,
he's-
just based on the topic of conversation.
Okay, now we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see. Here is the phone number. Give us a call. The phone lines are open for Chris Morgan here on the Uncle Henry Internet Show. Now, we're not going to have time to go in depth on what you're doing now, even though it's one of my favorite topics of all time, and that is that you're working with Fusakli's. And I say it's one of my favorite topics because I fell in love with Fusakli's. And it got to be a point where I had a friend of mine say to me, he said, you know what you really need to do is get yourself a gas grill. And he was trying to talk me out of going so
Oh,
often.
that's ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. He was trying to talk me out of going because I was going on a very frequent basis to Foosackly's to get my favorite things. Now, you revealed to us that when you went to work for Foosackly's, you decided to learn it from the ground up.
Yeah, so as part of my move to Foosackly's, what I do now is I kind of manage the business side of the business, which the business, of course, is our restaurants and the crew that's in those restaurants and our product.
But you wanted to learn about all of it.
I could not do what I do now without learning the business from the ground up. So when I tell you I learned the business, for a year, I was in the store. I was in the original store on University. I learned how to make the chicken, the fries, the toast, the sauces. I learned the customer service side, working up front and waiting on customers. I worked the drive-through window.
You worked the drive-through.
I cut the lettuce for the salads. I made the coleslaw.
Stop. Time out.
I did everything.
Time out. How many startled people?
A lot.
When they see it's Chris Morgan.
Well,
we know it's Chris Morgan in the drive-thru.
No, a lot. They're like, what? The first look was this look of puzzle, just complete. What are you doing here? I mean,
exactly.
And I would explain, as quickly as I could, and they're like, oh, that's really cool, But the people that I knew that didn't ask, they just stood in the back, and looked like, man, what is going on? But I'll tell you, I had a blast, and the people that I worked around in that environment, it was a great experience.
Do we have any calls? Will we have a caller?
We're missing our screen caller.
The person that screens calls for us normally, one of our container boys that works here is not here tonight.
Thank you.
So we do have a caller.
No.
Let's go. We have one caller for Chris Morgan.
That's fine. I've said everything. There's nothing else left.
Let's go to the phones. Hello, caller.
It's a great experience. Do we have any call? Will we have a...
Hello, caller.
The person that screens calls for us normally...
All right, they're playing us to us.
Boys that works here is not here tonight. So we do have a call.
That's not the caller.
Hello, Chris Morgan.
Hello.
I said everything. There's nothing else left. Let's go to the phone. Hello, caller. Hello.
Yes.
Do we have any call?
Hello. Turn whatever you're watching the show off.
I'm here. Are you there?
Yes, please. Thank you. That was exciting. Hello.
He's not here. So we do have a call.
All right, hang up on the one caller. Dadgummit. Dadgummit.
Hey.
Oh, you didn't hang up on it.
He's there. He still hasn't turned it down.
Are you there, caller? Did we hang up on the caller? All right, let's try one more. And by the way, this is not just you, Chris. Every week, the caller segment is a train wreck. Every week.
I've seen this. I've seen it a couple of times.
Oh,
You're right.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
I still hear us. Hello?
Hello, caller. Maybe they're not hearing us.
Well, we get to talk more.
All right, well, please hang up on this poor, pitiful person. Hang up. No, look. No, look. We're going to be getting to. All right, please stop. Don't involve the audience again, please. All right. In lieu of working phones, Chris Morgan, is Foosackly's? Do you see any new menu items in the future, or have you got it handled to the point that you don't dare mess with the success?
Well, I think the beauty of what we do is we keep it simple, but that doesn't mean that there won't potentially be new menu items. And I can't tell you what those could possibly be, but yeah, I mean, we've got the guys that founded the company are always thinking of different things to to first of all, they always want to figure out a way to improve what we currently have. I mean, it's constant, you know. But
How would you? There's no way to do that.
But here's the thing: what's, excuse me? Fish. Yeah, no.
Fish? Now, what is that? Are you joking? That would compromise the entire business.
Under Fusakli's, it says chicken fingers. That's
Yes.
our logo.
That's
and
ridiculous.
That's never going to change.
This guy is a dadgum anarchist.
I mean, I love fish. Don't get me wrong.
You're trying to wreck Fusakli's. Leave them alone.
That's the thing. That's what makes the beauty of what we do is the simplicity.
All right, are we going to try one more time? We're going to try for the phones. I don't know if people are hearing us or not through the phones. Let's try to take a call. Hello, caller.
I'm here. Are you guys there?
Yes, we are.
Hey, we made it.
All right.
Hey, it's David Calamity.
Oh, hey, how are you?
I'm good. Uncle Henry, I'm really concerned because it's your show, right? It's called the Uncle Henry Show.
Right.
And they're turning on you tonight. The crowds are going against you tonight. What? You need to call Rudy and have Rudy come fight your battle for you.
All right, sir, I appreciate you're looking out for me, but let's leave politics in the gutter.
Well, it wasn't politics. It's just Rudy. That's just comic relief.
All right, well.
And by the way, I will tell you, Chris, the best commercial I've ever seen in my life is Fusakli's giving the finger to Boeing.
That's right.
Yeah,
Remember
that
when
was.
they did the billboards?
Yes, absolutely. Know what you're talking about.
Yes, it was a billboard campaign. Of course, we all know what happened years ago after Boeing and Airbus, and they originally gave Boeing the contract, and so it was a nice billboard campaign.
The
You saw
best
three
ad I've ever
fingers.
seen in my life.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
3 fingers and one in the middle. It was a little bit longer than the other
Yep.
two, and that was it. Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask or bring up?
No, just I love the show you guys do. This is my favorite way to spend a Friday night, as long as I have enough bourbon to go with it. So keep it up, guys.
All right, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
Dad.
you. Thank you for your phone call. Do we have any other calls? Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Norman. Hey, Norman.
Norman.
Yes.
I just wanted I had called and got cut off. I couldn't hear what was going on. And I was about to ask you that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dadgummit,
He got cut off again.
What is going on?
Joe's not here. That's the problem. I'm sorry.
Do we have any other calls that we can hang up on? Hello, caller. Hello? Would you hang up on that guy?
That guy.
Hang up on that guy. All right, do we have a final call or any other call?
How many calls we got?
All right, hello, caller.
Uncle Henry?
Yes.
Uncle Henry.
Yes.
Listen, I'm calling from Birmingham, Alabama.
Hey,
really?
Birmingham!
You make my night on Friday night.
Oh, look at that!
Thank you.
Love it. You are awesome, and by the way, roll tide roll.
Roll, Tide, roll. Thank you for that.
Yep, and listen, Chris, I understand you work for Fusakli's. Is that correct?
I do. That's correct.
Great, great food. Now listen, do they have a buffet?
We do not have a buffet.
Is there any intent in the future of putting in a buffet? Because you know Uncle Henry's big fat mama.
Hang up on that guy. Hang up on that guy. Dadgummit.
I knew something had to be really bad about
He was
that.
leading that punch.
Look, there's the idea of a buffet. I mean, there's no way. There's not enough chicken.
There's
in the,
not. You're
in the-
right.
in the
You're
world
right.
for that type of buffet. You'd have to dynamite people out of there. They'd never leave.
It'd
They
be
would
like
s-
Po folks back in the day.
Oh, now what wonderful memories.
Oh,
Po
I love
folks.
Po folks. Po folks, anybody?
All right, do we have any other calls? All right, let's go back to the phones. Hello, caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Is this the show with Chris Morgan on with Uncle Henry?
That is the show, yes.
I'm a big fan of Chris Morgan. Known him from downtown for years and years with the Senior Bowl. And I had a question for him to settle a bet for me.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so which, in your experience with the Senior Bowl, was bigger? The defensive ends, the offensive guards,
This is not going
or Uncle Henry's big fat...
Would you dadgummit hang up on that freak? You sick individuals. You know, she's still alive. She's still alive. You know, and if you're going to call in and attack, do you have to have that much of a build-up? All right, do we have any other calls?
That was good.
Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry, how you doing?
I'm okay, thank you.
Hey, this is Alex from Memphis. That's what I'm calling and say, Hail State. Good to talk to you.
Alex Mathis in Memphis.
Yes, all right.
Alex Mathis, do you have any question or comment for Chris Morgan?
Guess not.
We are having a rough night tonight.
All right, well, was that call just accidentally terminated or something?
Well, he's not even standing next to the termination terminal, so.
All right. All right, well, look, I think we should go ahead and end the phone call segment.
What do we got left there, Dan? 0. Okay.
All right, well, look, we don't want to call, no, look.
Especially if they're going to talk about your mama.
Exactly. Apologies to Norman. Would have enjoyed hearing what Norman is a big college football fan. He would have had a lot to tell us. By the way, the phone call segment, I hate to say it's courtesy of the Container Yard, but the Container Yard, we love the Container Yard. This is where we do the show. Downtown office space and co-working starting at $3.99 a day, where creativity and commerce meets. ContainerYardWorks.com. You admire this space as well.
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful space. It's the first time to see it. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, Chris Morgan, you have already given us your predictions. You think that it's going to be Alabama, Florida, Ohio State, and either Clemson or Notre Dame.
Yes.
And then they will all add up to Alabama winning another championship. Is there anything else do you want to predict about the college football season before we're done?
Like I said, I think it's a 50-50 shot that it's completed at this point. I really do.
Dan says we have one more call.
Now, do we want to do that?
I don't know. I say roll the dice.
Are you kidding me?
Let's go. Come on.
All right. Well, one last call. Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hello. You're on with Chris Morgan.
Hi. Tonight's show's awesome. Morgan, you're awesome.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said tonight's show's awesome and Chris Morgan's awesome.
All right. Thank you. All right. We can't understand the caller.
We've had a rough night tonight.
Dadgummit.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. I wish people would leave their mother alone. She's normal size.
Thank you.
That is so nice.
She's a normal size sumo wrestler.
Would you hang up on that guy? All right, enough. All right, it's been an embarrassment. Look, for us to have higher quality, it's going to take a lot more donations. A lot more donations. And we'll get into how you can do that later before we end things out with our musical guest. But Chris Morgan, before you walk off the set, is there anything else about college football that you want to say?
Or anything.
No. I mean, haven't I said enough? I mean,
he hasn't even scratched the surface. This is the professor right here.
That's why I asked him if he had anything else he wanted to say. So you've said enough?
I think so. I mean, you have another question. I mean, we've talked.
Michael Ray, come on.
All right. Well, no, I don't have any further questions because I know you'll figure out a way to knock Bama.
I will not. I haven't knocked Bama all night.
But he loves Saban. So that's
Saban.
Love
allegedly. All right. Look, Chris Morgan, thank you for coming out on Friday night.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here.
Blast.
Thank you very much, Chris Morgan.
Thank you.
There he goes, Chris Morgan.
Thank Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Now, we want to welcome to the Uncle Henry Internet Show, Scott Bottrell, our musical guest. Scott, great to meet you, Scott. By the way, the musical guests are presented courtesy of Callahan's Cold Beer, Hot Meat, Tasty Tunes. See them in Oakley. Proud to be affiliated with Callahan's, and proud that Callahan's is in Mobile. It's one of the things that people are proud about Mobile, Alabama, is that Callahan's is here with us. Now, Scott.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for making the journey to be on this program.
I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Now, before we get to your music, because of your hair being nonconformist, do you ever? Well, I want to find out. Have you ever put it into the much reviled man bun?
No.
Yeah.
No man bun.
There we go. They're good.
No man bun.
All right. When was the last time you were clean cut?
Oh, whew. It's been a couple years now. I used to shave a bald. I get bored with it and shave a bald and let it grow again.
All right. So there are seasons where you are more socially acceptable.
Potentially.
All right. Now, Scott Bottrell, you host a show called On the Porch.
Yeah.
Where do people find On the Porch?
All right, y'all, please check out all this entertainment on Facebook and YouTube, and you can check out all my interviews. I interview local singer-songwriters, musicians, and they're all just amazing. We live in this this bubble of just amazing music, and try to just had Phil and Foster on. They're the house band at Callahan's every Wednesday. They are just amazing.
They are.
So get on and check it out. The boys at All This Entertainment, man, they put on a heck of a show for me, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Actually, you know some of them.
Yeah.
You just interviewed the Rev not too long ago.
Absolutely.
Sergio Rango. Yeah, we've got a good team going on over there. Which actually, this is kind of something I wanted to ask you. I think you need to let me come take over your show one night and let me interview you.
Well, see,
what do y'all think? We need to poke and prod and get to all the juicy bits of Uncle Henry.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there.
How about Uncle Henry on the porch with Scott Bottrell?
Yeah. We're gonna make this happen. That? We need to dig deep into Uncle Henry.
This show, tonight's episode, I never expected the pushback on this show. I mean, it's just been nonstop. Now, you're going to perform for us. What is that?
Oh, yes.
That's nasty. What is that?
He's got a show coming up.
That's our new artwork.
Take that off the screen.
No, leave that one. That's a good one right there.
What is that?
That's a promotion for our show on December 19th. Me and Johnny No, the Rev from Steve Cintani, we're doing a duo show at the Merry Widow right before Christmas. So.
Oh, okay. All right. That's going to be where and when again?
It's at the Merry Widow on December 19th. If you guys want to see me, I'm playing at the Stock Tank in Robertsdale tomorrow night at 9 o'clock.
And also Wednesday nights at...
Yeah, and every Wednesday I host open jams at Billy's Old 27 in Fairhope. I get the most amazing friends come and play with me, and come check it out. It's a good time.
He sings to the bacon.
All right, so we may talk about that in between songs here. You're going to do a couple of songs for us. Now, what is your first song that you're going to perform here?
The first song, and just to give you a little disclaimer, like tomorrow night, my band, we do a lot of rock and roll, but what I'm going to do tonight is what I consider my singer-songwriter. My first song is a song about fallen heroes. I used to train and teach traditional karate for about a decade. And my sensei was a man that I put up on such a high pedestal. And I don't want to get into specifics, but some things happened, and we had to split. And my hero became human, and that's what this song's about.
Oh, that's good.
Wow, what did you find out? He had like pre-weakened the cinder blocks or something like that?
No, but when you get into a lot of martial arts, politics always comes into play at some time. It's I know it sounds funny, but politics come into play, and it can ruin a lot of things. And like I said, I don't want to go into anything bad, but this is a song about my hero who I revered like almost to a godlike proportions. he fell off that pedestal and he became human.
All right. Well, now, when you perform, please, if I could ask the favor, please do not stare directly into my eyes as you sing.
That was kind of what I've been looking forward to all week.
Well, don't. I'll be watching you play, but if you have to look out at these people or at the wall.
Okay.
All right. So let's.
I can do that.
All right. Let's now enjoy the music of Scott Bottrell.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Why did you say those things to me? Only tried to be what you wanted to be. I know I will get all the blame, but I have changed. You're the same. My old friend, why can't you bend? I can see the end. Go and turn your head. My old friend, I can taste the sand that you kicked in my face. No, it's over now. Oh, it's over now, now. Oh, it's over. It's over now. I heard every single word you said. You filled my mind and changed my head. The things you said seem so empty. Yeah, I know my life and I ain't free. My old friend, why can't you bend? I can see the end. Go and turn your head. My old friend could taste the sand that you kicked in my face. No, it's over now. Oh, it's over now. It's over now. It's over now. Now you're mine, I can see your eyes. You're no Iron Man, you're just a guy. I put you up on that pedestal, and how you fall, and here we go. My old friend, why can't you bend? I can see the end. Go and turn your head. My old friend, I can taste the sand that you kicked in my face. No, it's over now. It's over now. Oh, it's can't you bend? I could see the end. Oh, go and turn your head, my old friend. Thank y'all. Thank you. It's hard playing that one out sometimes. It gets a little emotional. Like I said, I love that, man.
Well, I found your tale of disillusionment very relaxing.
All right. All right.
No disrespect intended, but that was very relaxing. Now, before you go on to your next song, Scott Bottrell, it has been mentioned that you are affiliated with Bill E's.
Yes.
The Bacon.
Yes.
Now that establishment is now that is now called Bill E's.
Yes. He changed the name to Billy's. It used to be Old 27. I still had a habit called Billy's Old 27.
Now, do you play to the bacon? Is that right?
Yeah, well, technically, we don't always do it, but yes, that's the whole gimmick. Billy will bring out some food, and we will serenade the food. I got a sticker on my guitar case that says, "I sang to the bacon."
Well, hey.
So come out on a Wednesday night and sing to the bacon with me. You know?
Well, I've been, like a lot of people, I've been there I've been there, I've never been there when you've been there, but love the food there.
Yeah, his bacon is tops. And if you go to most of the places around here and you look in the menus, it'll say Billy's Bacon. I mean, it's all over the place. It is that good.
May I suggest we try to do a Uncle Henry show from the Billy's Bacon?
That's a great idea.
Now, where did that come from?
Well, because we both asked him to come on the show, and he hasn't returned our emails.
That's true.
Maybe we can go to him.
Let's take it to him. Yes.
Well, yeah, tell him we said hello.
I will.
Because we'd love to have him as a guest.
He better get a hold of you.
We had Panini Pete.
That's right.
Oh, man, yeah. I'm going to tell him that. He's going to be upset.
All right, before we end the show, you're going to do another song for us. What is this next song?
This one's not relaxing.
Okay.
Just to warn you, now that you're relaxed, I'm going to get you all hyped back up again.
All right, what's this one about?
Okay, this one came about, I actually wrote this one not too long ago. This one is because of the pandemic and because of the political process. I'm just so tired of all the negativity and the fighting. There we go. You know, and so this next song's pretty simple. It's about spreading love.
Okay, well, good.
Spread the love.
Once again, Scott Bottrell.
Take my hand and follow me. Let's travel the world and try to find some relief. 'Cause something's off and the only way to fight it is to spread a little love and peace. The world's changed and so have I, but a little compromise is getting harder to find. The only way to make it right is to spread a little love tonight. We got to spread it down. We got to spread it down. Spread a little love. Spread a little peace. A little harmony, integrity, and honesty is what we all need. Spread a little joy. Spread a little hope down. A little compromise and understanding will get us all by somehow. We got to spread it down. Spread a little love, spread a little joy, and a little harmony. So won't you look deep down inside, try to figure out who you're gonna be. Doctor, lawyer, or farmer, or saint, it doesn't matter, 'cause we're all the same. You see, it doesn't make a difference now who you are, 'cause we're all just trying to get by. Don't you know we can change the world if we all just give it a try? We got to spread it now. We got to spread it now. Spread a little love. Spread a little peace. A little honesty, integrity, and harmony is what we all need. Spread a little joy. Spread a little hope now. A little compromise and understanding will get us all by somehow. We got to spread it now. Spread a little love. Spread a little joy. And a little peace. You see, we gotta turn off the hate machine, people. You gotta stop trolling people on the internet. Stop unfriending your family on Facebook. Come on. You know, we disagree on a few things, and if you talk to those people, you're gonna find out that you disagree on maybe 5 or 6 things. But there's about 1,000 things that you can agree on. There is no left side. There is no right side. There's only our side. We got to spread it now. 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 Spread a little love. Spread a little peace. A little honesty, integrity, and harmony is what we all need. Spread a little joy. Spread a little hope down. A little compromise and understanding will get us all by somehow. We got to spread it now. Spread a little love and a little harmony. Spread a little joy. Spread a little hope. Yeah, spread a little love and a little harmony. Spread that love, people. Do something nice for somebody. Don't do that hateful stuff anymore.
2 shows in a row, we have a special guest. Like last week, Harrison brought on his newborn. Could we not bring on Scott?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Daughter?
My little Ellie Mae, come here, my love.
I've seen a picture where she sings.
She does.
Does she sing?
She sings really well. Do you want to
here we
sing?
go.
You do?
Yeah.
What do you want to sing?
To sing. I don't know.
You don't? Oh, no,
Oh,
you're going to be all
no.
shy. She's normally the most singing and most dramatic,
Hey.
and she's...
There's only like 5 of us here, so you can
wanna
sing
sing?
all you want.
You want to sing Daddy's song?
Sure.
You want to sing?
We should sing together.
You want to sing together?
Sing together. There we go.
You gotta, let me get my guitar up though. All right, so I wrote a song for this little girl years ago, and every night for bed,
He sings it for me.
I call it Ellie Mae, but she calls it Daddy's song. So are you going to sing it? You want me to sing too?
Yeah.
I'll sing in the background and you sing up.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Oh, my little baby, more and more every day. I love it when she makes me chase her. Couldn't wait to see that smile light upon your eyes. Now I can't live life without her. And it means so much when you call me daddy. Yeah, I love my little take that tiny hand in mine, try to show her how to be. But she's moving so fast I can hardly catch her. Lucky me when she gets tired and finally comes around. I can just sit here and hold her forever. 'Cause it means so much when you call me daddy. Yeah, I love my little Ellie Mae. Yeah, I love my little baby. Great, honey. Gonna do the last verse? Ready? Here we go. By all the time flies, but we're just getting started. But you're going so fast and I just can't stop it. Now you're still my baby, and we got a whole life left to live. And daddy's gonna be around here forever. 'Cause it means so much when you call me daddy. Yeah, I love, yes I love my little Ellie Mae. One more time, baby. Yeah, I love, oh I love my little Ellie Mae. So great. Thank you, Uncle Henry.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you. Wow. All right, well, that was an unexpectedly magnificent way to end the show. Magnificent. Now, before we move on, because we're going to be asking you, and don't go because you're going to have to guess what's in the mystery box.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
Now,
The mystery box. We gotta guess what's in it.
Now, Scott Bottrell Again, quickly, we should look for your name on YouTube,
Yeah,
or should we look for On the Porch?
Well, if you want to check out the On the Porch, check out Yes, you are Ellie Mae Bottrell. Check out. Hold on, baby. Check out all this entertainment on Facebook and YouTube, and that's all that can be directed. You'll see my On the Porch interviews. You'll see our headphones on live stream where we have bands come on and do live streams. Hold on, baby. Hold on.
So we just look for that name and On the Porch, and we're going to find it all.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Very, very good. All right. So the Lanyap mystery box, Johnny Gwynn.
I put it.
All right, you gotta think.
So hold on. How about your daughter first?
All right.
So I want to count down to 3, like 3, 2, 1, and you tell me what you think's in the box. 3, 2, 1.
Football.
Football.
All right, we've had 2 guesses of footballs. All right,
All right,
now.
Scott,
I was waiting for a unicorn or something like that.
or a brony. Or something like that.
Yeah. All right, is this okay? This is the mystery
Yeah,
box.
so look,
it's got to fit inside this.
It's got to fit in the box, yeah.
Okay.
And we mentioned it, or it came up somewhere in the show. And I really love, musicians and creative people because we're on the same wavelength here. So I'm putting it in my brain right now. So relax yourself.
Okay.
Think about what I'm thinking and sending to you cosmically. And I'm going to count 3, 2, 1. What you pick?
Football.
No, not football. How about karaoke machine?
No.
In that box?
Okay, a little one.
It's okay. Anybody
Giant
else?
Harry
All right,
Quinn,
no,
go for
Johnny
it.
Gwynn, let's get to the reveal.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, we get to reveal it tonight?
We're going to reveal. Dan, you ready?
It's a boat.
Wait, we'll tell you when you're on camera. There you are.
I hope it hasn't fallen. Dan, are we ready?
It's a banana.
You were so close.
Yes, indeed. Banana, that's Chris Morgan's favorite food.
It sat there the whole night, right there, the whole night. It's getting easier and easier, people.
Yeah. Oh,
It is.
man.
All right, well, look, want to thank again Chris Morgan. Terrific football knowledge, Chris Morgan. Also, thanks again to Scott Bottrell and Ellie Mae.
Yes.
Remember, the only way we're going to be able to keep doing these shows, we are going to be able to continue into December. We'd love to do some next year. Go to PayPal.
Yes.
Go to PayPal. Look for Deep Fried Live on PayPal, or look for Deep Fried Live on Venmo.com. We need the donations in order to continue into the next year. Thank you so much for watching. Also, of course, thank you to Dan, the sound man, who is running everything. Dan, fantastic. And also, all of the hard work that goes into the show, all the graphics, all the thought is Johnny Gwynn. Thank you to Johnny Gwynn. Thank you for watching the Uncle Henry Internet Show. Please end the show. End it. Goodbye. Turn it off. Don't make me get up and walk off. Is it over? End it while I'm sitting here. Just end it. Turn it off. All right, we're done. Thank you for watching. Dad, damn it, I wish I could just